Welcome to the Lather Games. Today is Lavender Day, and that's probably my least favorite day because I'm not a lavender dude. I'm going to be using the Timor blade. Haven't used it yet. Got it in a sampler. I've heard it's just kind of average, nothing too spectacular, nothing to really, chase after. Put it in my vintage Gillette super speed flare tip. The soap today, Taylor's of Old Bond Street, a sample of their lavender. And I don't have very much left. Maybe I'll scrape enough. Maybe this will be next year's entry for Lavender Day as well. Save it till then. And I put that 1/4 teaspoon that I hooked out into the bottom of my Dollar Tree cereal bowl, soup bowl. I'll be going back to one of the first Badger brushes I ever bought. Got some good advice on the internet. And I bought this Whip Dog 22mm Silvertip. And I love it. Love it. The only thing I don't like is the handle. It's a little short. For me, I'm a bowl latherer, and so this handle does get messy because it's just so short, and it does get slippery. That's the main problem. When that soap starts to get up on the handle, and it does, it really starts to get slippery, and it's a lot of work to hold on to. But Whip Dog also makes a Luna handle. It's terrific. Unfortunately, I think he uses epoxy to fasten his knots in. And so I'm going to have to probably get the Dremel tool out and cut that handle out, instead of trying to twist and pull or steam it out. So, all right, splash a little bit of water on my face. All right, start mixing up. This brush has been soaking for just a few minutes in water. I'm using just tap water that came out of the cold tap, and it is hard water. I really enjoy these Whip Dog knots that I got. I like them kind of floppy. The premium Silvertip that I got from Golden Nib is a little bit on the too floppy side. It's not quite there. A little bit on the too floppy side. And but the Whip Dog, I think, is just I bought these, I guess, last year, 2017. And it's just right. For me, it is a 3-band Silvertip. Yeah, is that looking moist enough? Well, we'll see. Who knows? It looks like the TGN knot, the Golden Nib. Kind of looks like it. Who knows? Maybe that's where he gets his knots from. I don't know. But this is one of the brushes that I kind of compare everything to, because I just really enjoy the softness. It was my first luxury brush, my first Silvertip. I've been using a clipped Pure Badger brush, the VDH brush, and it's nice actually. I'd rather have it than any of the synths, just almost any of the synthetics that are out right now. I'll tell you that. They just poked me and showed me. That's another story. So yeah, there's a lavender scent, no big deal. Pretty straightforward. I mean, the one good thing about TOBS creams is the speed at which you can kind of generate that lather if you're kind of new to things. My little sample had kind of dried out, and it was actually very hard to put into my measuring spoon. But as you can see, it's not a problem. If you do use Taylor's, and you have the soap, the cream there that has kind of hardened up, just throw several drops of water on it, cover it up, check on it the next day. It'll soften up as that water kind of helps you to reincorporate everything. So we've got some nice looking lather going here. As you can see, it's kind of got some rigid places, so it's still a kind of a hard lather, relatively speaking. I've put 2 teaspoons of water in it, and now let's start with another ½ teaspoon. So I've used a Virginia Ching knot last night. That was one of the knots that I bought trying to sample the inexpensive line of Silvertips from a few different vendors. And also got a golden nib Silvertip at the same time, and a Frank shaving finest badger, and that was really good. But the Virginia Ching Silvertip turned out to be just too scrubby for me. The golden nib Silvertip was just a little too, like I said earlier, a little too much flop to it. It was still workable. If I never found any other knots, it was still going to be a nice knot. The best choice for me, other than these Whipped Dog brushes, but Whipped Dog just has a little bit more backbone than the TGN knot, it seems. Okay, now the soap is starting to increase in volume. There we go. Boom. Little stray hair. And I haven't used this brush probably in 4 or 5 months. I've been evaluating those Silvertips that I've kind of been mentioning. And it's so funny that they're all pretty much a similar price point, but they're all so different. I was really surprised to see that. Frank shaving, finest badger, is the only one of that group that had tips to hook and gel. I had never had a brush do that before. Didn't really like it. It's like sponges on a string, whereas this one has always felt, and the 24mm brother I bought, has always just the soft hairs, you know, just super soft and in just the right way, to me at least. Yeah, see, right now I'm having to really work on holding my brush because the soap is all up in this mix. Let's take a look at the peaks here. Kind of elasticity we have, not really all that much. Let's go ahead and add another ½ teaspoon. So now we have 4 teaspoons in this lather. I started on Amazon with my wet shaving pursuits. And, you know, Taylorville Bond Street is very lauded on Amazon. on most of the other shaving forums and mediums, it takes a back seat. Because they're just better performers for better prices. All right, here we go. I'm gonna rinse. I'm also going to use what's stuck on my fingers. Nice slickness, but very thin, not very much cushion. I'm gonna use this kind of as a pre-shave, so I'll be back in a second. All right, there we go. Let's see how this brush feels. See, it's not too dense in the middle. I don't feel like I'm rubbing a wiry hairball around on my face. The tips, oh, this is just perfect. This is, and I was wanting to come back to these brushes because I have been comparing them with these other Silvertips. Oh, and then I also got another TGN Golden Nib Silvertip. Instead of the premium, which was kind of the comfy but floppy one, I got one that was the grade A, which is a grade down, hoping that maybe it would have nice soft tips, but maybe a little bit more backbone, wouldn't be as floppy. This feels perfect. This knot is what I compare all others to. It's not floppy, to me at least. Looks like I got the lather dialed in just right. That's good, because I haven't used tailors in a very long time. It's just not too floppy, and it's soft in just the right way. I don't need gel tips. I don't want a bunch of sponges rubbing all over me. I want light, soft hair tips, and that's exactly what I get with these Whip Dog brushes. Last year the Whip Dog were very popular, and then some of the other brushes came along. Some of the other knots got kind of more in favor, but to me, for what I want, the Whip Dog are currently the best. And to be honest, I think they compare with the Whip Dog knots are maybe like $25. And then you add $15 for a handle if you want to get one of his handles. And so that's very inexpensive for a luxury bore, what I would consider. And I feel better than, brushes that are 4 times the cost. I mean, this brush is just great. All right, we're all lathered up. I think I showed you the Timor blade. Let me make sure that you see that. And the quality here, look at where the word is aligned on the top there. And then on the other side, it's in the center. So they got a little quality control issue there. It says Solingen on the bottom. But, just because it says a reputable razor word doesn't mean anything. All right. Just a standard mild razor here from the vintage days. Oh, what's the date code on this? That way you can know this is a J. And you could be able to look it up. I can't remember what the J is. A little bit of 24-hour growth is what we're working on here. It's not super smooth. It is pulling a little bit. Of course, could be we're removing the burr from the manufacturing process, and it'll be smoother on its next shave, perhaps. So it's not all that comfortable. And I'm kind of the opinion, if you're not comfortable in a mild razor like this one, then you just don't really have a place in anywhere near my routine. but I wanted to shave with, I went ahead and got it as a sample from tryblade.com. I think I just got one blade, maybe two. Just to kind of be able to see I tried it. I mean, it's working. All right, so rinse. All right. So I wanted, after testing all those other Badgers, I wanted to come back to this one because, you know, sometimes you kind of lose sight of the quality of something and the performance of something. But no, this is the feel that I like when I apply a shaving lather. It just feels terrific. I feel a little bit of the tips and stuff. Definitely no prickliness, anything, no wiriness of the shafts. It's just exactly the way it should be to my preferences. You may be different, and that's okay. Some guys like a lot of scrub. And even some guys like a lot of scritch. I believe scrub is just where it's not necessarily scratchy on you. I believe that's the scritch part of it. But scrub is just where there's plenty of backbone to the brush, where maybe it doesn't splay quite as easily. Like this one splays very easily, and so it lets you really grind in and clean your face up, and really grind in on that soap, maybe to generate a lather quicker. It's just not my thing. I don't like that. I can generate lather very easily with a floppy brush without any problem, whether it's a super hard triple milled soap or a hard glycerin soap or a cream. Obviously, it's just terrific. It's no problem at all. That's just my own preference. Of course, the second pass here should be more smooth than the first. There it is. Not super comfortable and smooth. You can hear it. Definitely kind of feels like a thin blade that's just not held super well. And I know this razor is a lot more comfortable than that, so I'm attributing that to the blade. This lather is slick and doing its job. Had a little break right there where I had to step away for a minute, and one thing it showed me was the post-shave feel of this soap is tremendous in the sense that my face feels normal. It's not drying out or anything like that, so there's a benefit for you. All right, splash of water. Little drink. And now we'll put on the third pass. Got a little airy sitting in the bowl while I was waiting, so that's interesting. Dissipated a little bit. Tailored Old Bond Street, you know, gets a lot of attention. Oh, this brush just feels so good. This is perfect. Sorry, but it's just impacting me so much. I've just tried so many others, and it's good to come back home. So Taylor's isn't a big deal on some of the other forums because there are just a whole ton of soaps that kind of do better for the same or less price. So therefore I don't do Taylor's a lot. It's German Street, my favorite scent of them. It's a really good scent. I really like it. I think Mr. St. James is another one that I like a lot. I have both of those tubs. Alright, so there's the third pass. How much lather's left after the third pass? Quite a bit. Lots. So I could back it down from the 1/4 teaspoon a little bit. The third pass better be smooth. If you're trying out a blade and a good reliable razor that you know works well and the third pass isn't smooth, I mean, I guess it could be a factory defect. But otherwise, pitch it. Too many good ones out there. All right, that's 3 passes. I took such a long break, I wondered, did I complete my third pass? But I think I just completed 2. So, let me take a look at it. I sure hope what I did just then was a third pass, because I see the performance is just not that great. Comfort during the third pass is fine, but I still see a good many hairs with some length on them that escaped any kind of cutting. Let's just go ahead and do a neck only pass. Scent strength is maybe 3 out of 10, which is good for me because I don't really like the lavender scent. And so I'm glad that it's kind of taking a back seat. But if you do like it, you are going to get some of it around you. It's just not very strong. So the performance of the soap is good. And I believe my research about this blade kind of came true. It does an okay job, you know, but especially if it's at any kind of a premium price, not worth it at all. Of course, always remember, blades are very subjective. Your mileage may vary. It may be your wonder blade, your perfect blade that works exactly like you want it to in your favorite razor. It may suck for you though. It just, you know, it's all subjective. You rinse. There we go. Lather Games, Lavender Day. Almost done. Grande Chypre. This is the closest thing I have to a flower in my after post shave collection from Barrister and Mann. Got a little bit of rose in it. Labdanum. Citrus, oak moss, frankincense. And I guess it's just that medley and combination of things that that is the reason why I still have it. It's a interesting, complex formulation that is a little bit intriguing. Not my favorite. I don't do it a lot, but it's kind of a nice little palate cleanser, if you will, from all the other stuff I have. Yeah, still see some length on some of these hairs. So kind of an average to slightly below average shave for the Timor blade. Great little razor here. Super speed. The not too much sting from the post shave, a little bit. So that's a testament to how the blade and the razor treated my skin. No bleeders or anything like that. I don't even see any really redness, so nice, good in terms of that. Second and third pass were comfortable. First pass a little rough. After that touch-up pass, we have still a couple of passes of lather. Yeah, the scent here definitely goes with the Grande Chypre. Oh, but I'm so glad to return to my Whip Dog brush. It just feels just right. The right of my backbone for me, for my preferences. The softness of the tips is just terrific. No scritch or scrub really at all. And softness, it's like a cloud. It's got just enough structure with it to where you don't feel like you're mopping your face. Yeah, it's just got just enough backbone for me. And I was very blessed to have this advice given to me for the purchase of these the Whip Dog Silvertips early in my journey. And so a great deal monetarily, and they've given me just a lot of great shaves. All right. I think that's it. I don't think there's anything else. Desert Island question. No, I would rather not have lavender stuck 20 years on an island. However, the performance is good enough. The brush is obviously fabulous, and the Super Speed is just a great razor. That's it's mild, but it still cuts well, and a good one to have around. Nice balance, excellent grip on the handle there. The weight balance point's about right there. That's kind of where I like it. Really happy with it. And this is the kind that you can get for like $10 or $15 online. And so don't go buying some. You want it's a great razor to try out double-edged shaving with, because they're like the Viking Godfather and Chieftain Vikings blade or something like that. They're just rebranded Chinese knockoffs, costing $30 or $40, where the Chinese version costs $6 or $8. So don't go that route. All right. Post-shave feel, like I discovered earlier, just with the soap I can easily walk away and be fine. And this splash does have some medicinal stuff in it, apparently, because my skin feels good. There we go. There we go. Another Lavender Games day out the way. Take care. Have a good night.